When the pressure rises, I put the hammer down and rise hard as I possibly can.
It's Matthew Skoltz with a big win
So
here.
hopefully it's not downhill from this point.
Jake Gagne's first Hono Superbike win of his career.
There's something special that Jake's doing at the moment that we got to figure out.
Gagne's down.
Got like 3-2 down.
Crazy one. Craziest win all year. Time to go.
Got to go out there swinging.
Side by side they go.
Closest we've been all year. Awesome effort.
Pass goes down.
I wish I had more battle with Jake.
And Jake Gagne's got a problem.
I had high expectations, and I didn't meet him, and it bummed me out.
I'm a sore loser. Gotta suck it up and take it on the chin.
Are you kidding me? Here comes Cam
The
Peterson.
most emotional moment.
I honestly couldn't believe what had just happened. Mr. Gagne, you're definitely not going to be winning 16 races, that's for sure.
Fresh and lean attack performance Yamaha's Jake Gagne. What a statement.
Season 1 of Pressure to Rise saw Jake Gagne dominate and deliver a record-breaking performance.
Good job, man. Well done, guys. Well done.
Jake set a new win streak record with 16 in a row, and with his 17th victory in the last race at Barber, cemented his name in the record books with the most wins in a season, earning him his first Superbike Championship.
We had a great year. We got amazing results, and it all worked out. Our goal is to get the championship, and but it did. It didn't change me. And it's kind of like that opposite side of motivation. I'm not pissed off. I'm not trying to say, oh, I got to prove myself this year. It's like I just keep doing my program. It does make the off season a little bit nicer after such an awesome year, But same thing, we know it's not gonna be easy this year, so we gotta stay on our game, and I think we can keep improving for sure.
After starting the season with a win and the points lead going into round 3 at MotoAmerica, Westby Racing's Matthew Skoltz was runner-up in the championship, finishing 88 points behind Gagne.
Just a huge thank you to the Westby team, everyone who watches these series, fans, sponsors. It's been a really awesome season, and hopefully next year we can come back and fight for the championship.
Cameron Peterson's return to the Superbike class was a success as he finished 3rd in the championship. He was also the one to stop Gagne's winning streak in the instant classic rain-soaked race at Barber.
2021 it really solidified and showed me that I was capable of running at the front and really trying to make a career out of this, Honestly, still up until that point, even winning the stock championship, it was a bit of a question, when you struggle for so many years, it's always a bit of a question, am I good enough to actually do this? So it was a fun year, and we got some really good results. I mean, it was a little bit up and down at times, but it gave me a sense of confidence going into the off season, knowing that this is what I'm meant to do, and I am capable of winning championships, So yeah, pretty nice to have that sense of confidence.
I'm kind of stoked. Yeah. You should be.
The top 3 finishers in the championship were the only riders to win a race in 2021. The off-season brought us no shortage of changes. This year, Cameron Peterson captured one of the most coveted seats in the paddock, alongside defending champ Jake Gagne on the fresh and lean Progressive Yamaha team, replacing Josh Herron.
this is why we moved to America. This is why my family sacrificed everything, was for me to get to this point. So for the longest time there, I didn't think it was ever going to happen. And you know, the fact that we made it happen it's awesome. So I think it's a big deal for my family as well, you know, so stoked and ready to make the most of it.
Maybe I'm biased because me and Cam have been great buddies for a long time, but I know how talented that kid is, and I still don't think he's shown his full potential. So it's going to be good to have a teammate to keep me on my toes for sure. And like I said, we're buddies, so we're going to have fun. Did you get that shot? Team player. Check him out.
Heron will join the Warhorse HSBK Ducati team, not on a superbike, but on the newly homologated Panigale V2 in the Supersport class.
Last year I was looking for something fun. That's all I wanted. I had just had, you know, we had Griffin not too long before the end of the season, and I didn't want him, you know, growing up seeing me bummed out to be racing. The state I felt like I was in. When I asked myself, what does it take to have fun, is racing 600s again. I have the most fun on these bikes. I've never won a championship on them, but I have the most fun. It seems like you can, you know, throw the bike around easily. You can, you know, they're just fun bikes to ride. There's not a ton of electronics, so it's, I think, a little bit more about just, you know, rider skill. Went up to Bobby Sheck, you know, one of the owners of the HSBK Ducati team, and I was like, hey, what do you got for next year? He's like, he kind of looked at me like, all I have is the Supersport ride. And I was like, yeah, I want it. Like, I want to do it. Let's go. Let's put something together. And it started from there.
While Loris Bass's time in MotoAmerica was brief, it was the catalyst for him to return to World Superbike. With his seat open, Warhorse HSBK Ducati enlisted the help of famed MotoGP rider Danilo Petrucci.
Nice. Geraldo Ferracci. He come to me and say, why you don't race for us next year? I say, Geraldo, I'm happy, but I already have everything planned. I will do the Dakar for sure, and then we'll see. All the Ducati people then from the factory start to call me and push me for coming here, and I've been a factory Ducati rider for many years, and I saw them really happy for me to come back. And I say, okay, I need to follow the people that love me, and here I am.
Hector Barbera returns for his sophomore season on a BMW, but this year on a brand new team and motorcycle. Joining him under the canopy, PJ Jacobsen makes his return after a nearly 2-season hiatus.
The bike is very fast, and this morning we start with the FP1 with some problems, normal, and FP qualifying one I go fast and I enjoy, and I think this year I have a very good opportunity.
I didn't have a ride for the 2021 season, and I decided to take on like a coaching role. Just when I went to the races though, I was kind of like, you know, just bummed out all the time because like I wanted to be out there racing with everybody else and stuff. So it was kind of hard. The team owner has really put everything together, and I can't thank him enough for giving me the opportunity and the whole team to be back in the MotoAmerica paddock.
The 2020 Supersport champ, Richie Escalante, will make his Superbike debut with Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki, joined by last season's Stock 1000 champ, Jake Lewis.
I'm still learning and adapting my style to the big bike. Right now, I ride the bike a little bit more like the 600. So on the big bike, you need to change a couple things to the bike work better.
2021, the Altus Motorsports team gave me one heck of an opportunity to show my talent and kind of get my foot back in the paddock, and fortunately I was able to win both the Stock 1000 Championship and the Superbike Cup, and got the call from John and Chris Ulrich with the M4 team literally the day after Barber. You know, it was a long wet weekend there, and they called me Monday morning, you know, we're interested in you, and then that kind of started the talks for 2022.
Bobby Fong may be absent from the Superbike grid this season, but you can expect to see him in the paddock and on the King of the Baggers grid at select rounds. After 6 seasons in the Superbike class, Kyle Wyman has committed to racing full-time for the HD Screamin' Eagle team to defend his King of the Baggers championship. Coming up, MotoAmerica will debut at one of the most iconic circuits in racing, Daytona International Speedway. Daytona, the world center of racing. Since 1937, the Daytona 200 has been the biggest draw for AMA motorcycle racing in the U.S. This season, MotoAmerica has taken the reins and is using it to springboard into the 2022 season. 2021 Superbike champion Jake Gagne and new teammate Cameron Peterson will take on the high banks for this one-off event before the regular points-paying season gets underway.
Been a long time since I rode a 600, and it's a whole different game. I mean, it's crazy to think how fast time flies, but I've been on Superbikes now for, I think, 7 years. It makes a 600 feel slow, but we know those 600s ain't so slow either.
I gotta figure out what these buttons do.
So that one, start. When it's in, it starts.
You know, our goal is a Superbike championship, you know, and so being here is a bonus. We're in race situation. It'll be fun doing some of the pit stops, you know, get the crew on, put them back on their heels and maybe make them a little nervous there, you know.
Nice and easy, guys, easy. Go! That tire would not go in.
It's nice to get that feeling back again, you know, the adrenaline running up to the bank, being close to a wall. It's kind of scary, and I have no idea how they rode thousands around here because it's pretty scary. But yeah, just the whole experience being here at Daytona, getting to race the 200 on a team like I am, on a bike like I am, it's pretty special. I'm here to win. You know, I think it'll be pretty cool to come here for my first time and get the win, put that watch on my wrist. So got some work to do. It's going to be a long race.
Both Yamaha riders are getting more comfortable on their bikes built for just this race. And everyone is happy to be back on pit lane.
And now the work starts. Funky, cold Medina.
Regardless of how much grip that rear tire had, it got me back into that mode where I know I can push those things. I know I can get in there hard enough. I went around the outside of two in that. Did it show that one?
Yeah, we saw the gag
right-hander, dude. I went around side of both of those Suzukis.
P1 so far.
I got a nice draft here on that last lap.
Where was that?
Almeida, I think. Like, that thing was pretty fast. Like, I thought I'd come up a little earlier, but it was nice. Okay. I still don't think I got the right side of that tire spun at all.
Whoa. Hey, when you get off the bike, don't jump. You might want to take a second. It may take a second to get stable and then go. Because as soon as you've done this a couple times already, where you go to the left because you're getting off the bike, just let the bike get stable. Okay.
And then jump off.
Yeah, because
that's happened twice.
Twice now.
Yeah. Okay.
Third time. Good job, man.
Yeah.
How was the pace?
Ah,
Easy, right?
Easy, like pretty slow in the infield, you know.
Yes.
But that angled bike is fast.
Yes. It's got 36 cc's on us. You just have to kill them in the infield eventually.
A Daytona 200 rookie, Peterson gets up to speed quickly and qualifies on the second row in P6, with Gagne just in front of him in P3. 2010 Daytona 200 winner Josh Herrin takes pole position.
It's definitely far from over for me in racing, and got a 2-year deal with these guys, and the goal would be to win this year and then go to Superbike next year. And you know, that's what I'm trying to do. And but right now, just living in the moment, enjoying having my wife and Griffin at the races. First race that Griffin ever gets to come to, we got pole, which is something that I don't even know the last time I got a pole. So it's yeah, good day.
In Saturday's warm-up session, Jake Gagne crashes exiting pit lane after practicing a pit stop. Despite his injuries, he wants to try to race.
We were doing practice pit stops and went out there, and yeah, just got in the wall pretty good. So that's racing, and that's Daytona's a whole different ballgame, you know, with the pit stops and all this other stuff it throws at us. It's a lot, especially if you're not used to it, you know.
The 80th running of the Daytona 200. It's underway, and Josh Herrin let the clutch out. It looks like he got a good launch on that Warhorse HSBK Racing Ducati New York entry.
And it looked like a Triumph jumping into second place. It is. It's Brandon Posh with Marias, and you can see Cam Peterson there. Danny Eslick is in there as well.
After just a few laps, Gagne decides to retire and pulls back into pit lane.
And I was just pretty beat up, man. My back was like really locked up. My leg that I had issues with, my ankle. It was just one of those days, man. It wasn't my day.
8 laps into the 200-mile race, the red flag comes out, and teams look to adapt their pit stop strategies.
All we can do is fuel, right?
Cannot change tires. You
Yes.
can work on the bike.
Yeah, you can fuel. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. No tires. You can work on as much as you want. Fuel, work, no tires.
No tires.
Yep.
After the restart, on lap 19, Josh Herrin was entering the chicane on the backstretch when he ran out of fuel.
Into the chicane they go. You can see Herrin's more pacing himself at this point. Or he's having a problem and starting to slow down.
Maybe that tire is really, really shot. As Herrin, I can see him on the exit of the chicane. He has come to almost a stop. Is he out of gas, Greg? It looks like the Ducati might be out of gas as he comes out of the chicane. Big problems right now.
Adding to the lost time, the fuel lines were dry, and the team had difficulties restarting the bike to get back in the race.
This is devastating because if he could have just got out, you never know if a red flag or something comes out. To stay on that lead lap is so important, and this thing is not starting, Greg. So they've got a big problem here with the Ducati right now on pit lane.
Water behind you.
Cameron Peterson had a near-perfect second pit stop, setting up a strong finish.
Go, go, go. Front was fast.
Here we go, the drag to the checkered flag. Cameron Peterson up the inside. Here comes Bosch around the outside.
Posh got it. Posh got it.
Yeah, I thought I had it, and yeah, I could feel the wind getting sucked, and I got sucked back, and I knew somebody was coming. I even stood up on my bike and tried to push my bike forward to get across the line, but it's one of those things. But it was pretty cool to get a race in before the season, and yeah, just go see Daytona and experience it. I had so much fun. But yeah, losing by .007 hurts, so it's got me itching to go back.
007, right? James Bond. But hey, I mean, Brandon Pash did a really good job, and I felt like Cameron actually learned a lot from that weekend, learned a lot of racecraft, and he had a lot of fun. And when you close the door on the trailer at the end of the weekend and you don't actually really worry about how much time you spent, the reward was there, and I have to say that I actually really enjoyed it.
Up next, a return to COTA as the Superbike season kicks off in Texas. MotoAmerica returns to Circuit of the Americas alongside MotoGP in Austin, Texas, kicking off the 2022 season. For the reigning champ and his new teammate, there's nothing like getting back to the racetrack and catching up with a team.
What's up? What's up, guys? How are ya? Good to see you. You too? What's up, dude? You got your whole team? Yes.
Yeah, good to see you.
What's up?
What's up?
How are you?
Good, and you?
Good.
Good to see you.
I haven't gotten my team hat yet, so it's my ventilator hat.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Second place.
Thank you.
What are you doing? Hanging out?
Appreciate it, but I thought I had it. How you doing?
Where's Yamaha?
The wheels on this thing are so badass.
I know, I've never seen a truck with actual nice
it
wheels.
looks so sick. Hopefully we have spare suits.
Hey, John.
I didn't see anything in the race cars rig.
If anything, they'll probably get shipped here.
I'm gonna go find out, because...
You got one, you got one, right?
One.
Disco, disco.
Party in here, let's go.
Even like this one, look at that yellow black light.
Good to see you too. How you doing, boys?
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Good to see you too. All good?
Well, we
Okay, rock, paper.
Rock, paper, scissors, go.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, I'm early. All right, I got it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
So 1-1.
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Let's go. It feels so good to take the helmet off.
With the first session of the weekend so early on Friday morning, teams were challenged by the cold temperatures.
Very constant.
Yes.
Maybe it's a tire for race.
For sure it's a tire for the race, because you can't race on the other one.
But now, good grip, front tires go down.
Yeah. Yeah. Take the wrap off of that before you try to mount it on the bike.
All of the guys on the team have been working nonstop for at least the last month. Because of supply issues, everything came in late, and you know, there's been very little sleep for the last month. I didn't have a lot of previous experience with this bike. I had previous experience with the last generation S1000. I wasn't really sure what this was going to be capable of. Unfortunately, our first test, we only got a quarter of a day maybe of dry racetrack, and then the rest of it was wet testing. Our second test, we did get a full day in the dry, but the track conditions weren't very good. And then it was another day of wet. So if it rains, I think we've got a pretty good setup.
Later in Q1, Westby's off-season testing is showing some positive gains early on.
Those first couple laps when Jake and Cam were following me, I thought they were going to come and blow my doors off. I was waiting for them to pass me, and then I looked back once or twice, and they didn't really catch me.
No, but they were using it as a gauge, so you know, I was pretty happy with that because you were pushing your own air.
We've been at it a long time with Westby Racing, but this was the first off-season where we really, instead of getting a collection of parts and putting them together and trying to make them work well, we actually ran a lot of parts through the bike. It's the most testing we've done on the off-season. Matthew was able to ride more than he ever has before in the off-season with Westby. Yeah, I feel like we made some good improvements, but until you get to the actual track with all the other guys, you don't know what step they've made. But yeah, I feel good about the improvements that we made.
Guys, I got stuck behind. I know. Yeah, well, you went. The first flyer, you were purple in the first and last, but the middle, I think you just got all the. It's okay. It's okay.
How far were we off?
Well, you know what, Jake did a fly, so he came in there right at the end, and then that was his last lap. So 7, 7, 6, and then he's a jump in front.
The Attack Yamaha team is working through their bike setup.
I'm not getting a good feeling with the front end.
Okay.
Like, it's just like I'm having, even during that run, like I'm having a lot of moments where it's just like pushing, like when I'm getting on the gas.
Okay. To feel high or low?
Honestly, like the position of the bike, it doesn't feel much different. It's almost just like how the forks are working, you know? Like it doesn't feel real high or real low, it feels kind of neutral.
Okay.
You know, it just doesn't, like for instance in the long right hand over here, it's like I just really got to play with the throttle. If I start getting on the gas, it really starts to run wide.
So no grip.
Yeah.
You say it feels like it wants to squat down and run wide? That's the feeling you get?
Yeah, it kind of feels like that's the feeling I get, like the front's up here.
Okay. You can pop a little preload, get back. Let's give it a try. Why don't we just do that real quick, chuck the bike, and we'll come back and grab a tire. Okay?
Richard is working really hard, and we are working really hard trying to get Cam to approach the racing and the learning the racecraft and learning this bike to be able to maximize his and the bike's potential. And as I said, I think that Jake's fully on side with it. He wants somebody to push him as well. And so far it's actually been quite a nice addition.
So remember, that thing's going to feel on the edge of the tire. It's going to want to push a little bit more too, right?
Be careful on that.
Yeah, so we're actually taking some more pressure out of it. I'm thinking I should add a mil of preload in the back to hold it up a little with an extra grip.
Okay, yeah.
Have fun. See if that feels good.
Okay.
The teams debrief after the session and make adjustments for Q2 later on.
We're just trying to figure out what to do about front tires at the moment. Well, let's get the riders briefing and then we'll go from there. Yeah. So it was okay in the beginning and it just went off like a 129 rear would in a race.
What'd you start with for pressure?
40. Sure. I don't want his info to go into his head.
That's true.
Start confusing the issue, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that smart.
Not at all.
Okay, I don't want his info going in his head.
He wants to more wheelie control there, like be aggressive with it, you know?
And here.
14 and 15, like aggressive. 600, yeah, exactly.
After the break, Jake Gagne begins his title defense in the first race of the season. Riders can expect that weather and track conditions from Q2 will be similar to race time on Saturday afternoon.
I don't remember the last time we were out on Superbikes before 8 o'clock in the morning, you know. By the time we went out this afternoon, it was a whole different track. We get to experience everything this weekend. Some 8 a.m. practices, 5 p.m. races, and whatever gets us here, you know.
They're so different from the morning to the afternoon, and they've had so much downtime in between that it's really easy to get lost.
It looks like Gagne's got a problem. That's not looking good. It looks like a motor's gone, Greg, because with all that smoke going out the exhaust, out the back, that's definitely not a good sign.
It just lost all its power. I don't know.
Okay.
Like it wasn't like last time, like where it blew up, like where it wouldn't, like, you know, it all of a sudden decelled really hard. It just like, I twist the gas coming out of that straight and it's nothing, and so I just punted on back. Like,
was it running when you came down?
It was running, yeah.
Okay. Right there.
Is that Cam's bike?
That's Cam's bike.
Is that Cam Peterson?
That's Cam Peterson.
Cam Peterson's got the same problem.
Same corner, same problem.
Same corner, same problem. And now that bike, he hasn't felt it yet. Obviously, there was a big loss in power for Gagne when it happened to Gagne. But now, the second of the Attack R1s are a ton of smoke coming out the back of it.
Both Gagne and Peterson experienced bike troubles in Q2 and were unable to get in a competitive lap time.
One of the weirdest things I've ever seen, you know. I'm still not 100% sure what went wrong with the bikes, but yeah, just lost some power and that was the end of our Q2 session.
With both Attack Yamaha riders out, it gives everyone the opportunity to take pole position away from Gagne.
Attack Yamaha guys just in front of our pit, and I pulled in and they weren't there. And I was like, what happened?
P2 overall now.
I don't feel so good still because I got many injuries during this the previous months, and I'm not physically fit, and I don't feel good on the bike. So really, it's we are at the beginning of our process. So for me, this was in Austin is really like a test.
So 209.5 for Danilo Petrucci. He did a 209.6, so he betters his time from this morning by a 10th. And he will sit in third with combined times at the moment.
Danilo Petrucci is a very good rider, but it's difficult to explain. I want to stay in the podium, no? But it's difficult to understand because we have only one day. But in qualifying one, I am 5 or 6 with the second place. We are near, or we need some days more for working in the bike because now the level is maybe 1 to 10. We are in the 5. We have every day more progressives, and we think it and stay in every race in the first position.
Despite having limited seat time and bike troubles all weekend, Jake Gagne maintained pole position. Matthew Scholz ended up in P2 with Danilo Petrucci in P3. The second row is Cameron Peterson, Hector Barbera, and PJ Jacobson. About an hour before the race, each rider starts their own routine to get their body and mind ready.
All things considered, you're not as knotted up as I thought you'd be.
Yeah, I mean, I've been focusing on stretching a lot in the off-season because I wasn't the most supple last year after that injury. I kind of like let the like stretching side of things go because it would just like hurt and make me feel worse. And then I started noticing the last couple of rounds that I just wasn't sitting in like very good positions riding because I wasn't able to kind of like open my hips and stuff. So I just started getting back into stretching, and it seems to have helped lately.
Good, man.
Ethan is my performance coach, and he usually helps me after sessions, with the gun and cupping and just helping me out really. And he's kind of got this new system. Prior to going out for the practices, he gives us lights, and there's 4 different beacons, and they all light up in different colors. So it just kind of gets your brain working a little bit quickly before hopping on the bike, and I think it just helps you get there a little bit quicker.
After an engine misfire, Gagne was forced to return to pit lane after the warm-up lap and was unable to start the race.
So for Jake Gagne, wow, it looks like he's not going to make the start of this race.
Yeah, we had a lot of weird little bike gremlins, a little bit of this and that. Missed a lot of laps this weekend, and that's unusual, man. These Yamahas are obviously pretty bulletproof. It's a long year, it's a lot of races, so I'm not stressed about points or the championship or this or that. We just want to get back to work and do our thing.
Bikes are off, and a good launch by the number 11. Petrucci didn't get the start, but it looks like a Tytler's BMW did. So there goes Matthew Scholz in there. Cam Peterson in second spot, trying to find his way around and up and out of the saddle.
As always, a really bad start, and but then I start to push, and the bike was vibrating a lot.
On lap 2, Danilo Petrucci passes PJ Jacobson for third, and shortly after overtakes Cameron Peterson to sit in second behind Scholz.
I was trying to understand the tire, but I was really in trouble.
He's got a great run out of that last corner. He's going to pull up along the outside.
At the start of lap 4, Petrucci tracks down Scholz on the front straight.
Nice move.
Yeah, really good. But see the turnaround that Scholz is going to go right back up underneath him.
On his 4th lap in MotoAmerica, Petrucci takes over the lead.
Petrucci shows his experience and smoothly takes it to the finish line, with Matthew Scholz 1.7 seconds behind. Cameron Peterson rounded out the podium with a 3rd-place finish for his new team. PJ Jacobsen crossed the line in 4th, and his new teammate, Hector Barbera, just behind him in 5th.
I'm pretty happy, you know, to come out and have both bikes finish the first race 4th and 5th. I thought that was, you know, that was a pretty good result.
I'm really, really happy to be here racing with these guys. The atmosphere is really, really nice. It's good, and coming to MotoAmerica, I think is one of the best choices I ever made.
Race 1 may not have gone to plan for Jake Gagne, but he also did not finish the opening race last season. With 19 races left this season, he looks forward to race 2. Up next. It's another beautiful day for racing and an opportunity for redemption. This isn't lost on the reigning champion. With no Sunday morning warm-up session, teams will have to manage any changes without a chance to test them.
Just feels slow. Maybe you didn't get a chance to ride on this. Let's see what the mixture's like. Did you open up the window to 95 on both sides? Slow where? Top end or acceleration? He said, what when you wheeling? He said, you know what I mean? Like, up the torque? I mean, Cam felt that way yesterday too, right? Yeah. It's not a big deal, you know? If it's not, if you know in your heart how you can manage this.
We knew going into the race yesterday that we were going to be a little bit lacking in the performance of the bike a little bit, just because we were trying to be safe. We didn't want to have any more issues with, you know, not any more DNFs. Unfortunately for Jake, it started out like last year, but that's okay. It's a long season.
The number 1 plate gets a decent launch. Petrucci, not so much. He's going to be relegated back to 4th for the moment, but is it going to be the 45 who gets the whole shot? No, up the inside, it looked like it was one of the Tyler and PJ Jacobsen had it for a second.
Yeah, it's hard to tell those guys apart. Is it Cam Peterson there with Matthew Scholz right behind him? Better start today for Petrucci.
It was nice getting to lead a couple corners. Then the next couple corners I made mistakes. I just, you know, I haven't led a race in that many times in the Superbikes.
PJ Jacobsen was running in 4th when his bike starts smoking.
PJ just pulled off there. Yeah, he's got a problem. You could see that, and you could see Gagne was in the draft, and he wasn't quite sure if he should be there or not.
At the end of lap 1, Petrucci tracks down Cam and takes the lead.
As they get ready to complete lap 1 here, he's going to have all 3 of those Yamahas behind him.
On lap 4, Scholz overtakes Petrucci, and for the next few laps, they trade passes.
Great lunge by Matthew Scholz to move Petrucci out of the way, but then again, here comes Ducati horsepower.
Matthew was really, really strong on braking, and especially was really faster than me in the middle of the corner, but I was, let's say, accelerating quite good, and we use our top speed for passing.
These guys are going back and forth. Matthew is making Petrucci uncomfortable.
Meanwhile, behind the battle, Gagne and Peterson are gaining ground.
Jake Gagne, a 209.8, and he drug Peterson up to a 209.7.
I could see them going back and forth, but, you know, I knew it wasn't going to happen all race long, and I knew what I could do. I knew I didn't have that much pace.
I think both of us were just kind of struggling with the same thing, you know.
After one last pass for the lead, Petrucci settles in and starts to pull away.
I use all my experience, and I say, okay, now I need to create a gap to go away, and it worked.
And that is just pure racecraft. We are watching a rider in Petrucci, who is just showing us a clinic on how racecraft works.
There's no doubt that Danilo Petrucci is the real deal, not to saying that Loris Bass isn't. Our fears have been realized.
And he comes to the checkered flag and takes his second victory in a row. Teammates will come across the line. It'll be Gagne who will take third place over Cameron Peterson by 1/10 of a second. So it's Petrucci, Skoltz, Gagne, Peterson as we await the arrival of Richie Escalante and the rest of the field.
It has always been a track that I've struggled at tremendously, and to get 2 second places, I couldn't be happier.
In Italy, they broadcast the race live, and yeah, I got really hundreds of messages. It was really nice. And in MotoAmerica, all the fans can come to your tent and shake your hands and make a photo. Was nice to see all the love from the people. Was really 2 unbelievable days.
Man, I've watched that guy in MotoGP for years. You know, I'd never met him until here this weekend, but he really is. I was always a fan of him because he just seems like a cool dude. Yeah, I'm glad we brought it home. We brought it home in third, got a podium, and you know, we weren't too far out of the show.
When we come back, a look ahead to round 2 at Road Atlanta.
Just let me know when you want me to snap her.
On a new team, new motorcycle, new tire manufacturer, in a new series with lingering injuries, Danilo Petrucci beat the odds to make his mark in MotoAmerica with double victories on his debut weekend. All eyes will be on the Italian rider all season long.
I think I'm more famous now than when I was racing in MotoGP. For sure, after the Dakar, the people got crazy and they forgot about my career in MotoGP, and I never seen so many flags and caps and shirt around the track with my number on it. And yeah, also the MotoGP media guys say that the most the read news yesterday was my victory.
Ducati beats the usually dominant Yamahas this round. But will Petrucci be able to continue that success when MotoAmerica heads to a track he has never seen, Road Atlanta?
Atlanta will be tough because I don't know even where if the first corner is on the right or on the left. And yeah, I maybe need to study a bit some videos and yeah, maybe watch the previous races.
Our level of our series is really high. However, we do recognize that Ducati is not going to not bring their best, you know, A game, if you will, to support Petrucci to the most. And obviously, whatever they did, and it's worked out for them, which is good for them because it's only going to make the series stronger.
Leading the championship with a perfect 50 out of 50 points is Danilo Petrucci. Matthew Skoltz finishes the weekend with 40 points, and while Jake Gagne scored only 16 points on the weekend, it is early in the season, and there is no doubt that he will fight to defend his title in the races to come.
We got to go back and do some homework before Atlanta, and hopefully can come and be a little bit stronger. And knowing how little testing we've had, I think we should do pretty good for Road Atlanta. I'm cautiously optimistic, you know, that we can improve and, you know, give the Yamahas and Ducatis a bit of a push there.
At the end of the race weekend, I've never felt this good in my life. So, ride my motocross bike a few times and yeah, try go get a couple wins in Atlanta.
Jake and Cameron will be closer to us, and yeah, I think once we start getting into this track, you know, Road Atlanta, VAR, Road America, that's going to really tell us whether we truly made a step forward with the bike, and see what improvements the other teams have made as well. But yeah, good start for us at COTA.
We're ready to get to Atlanta, get to rocking.